Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Fiji transit hub for drug peddlers. New approach to end violence against women and girls. And lack of engineers a concern for construction industry.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Fiji has been labelled by Australia as the most capable in the Pacific to deal with transnational crimes and other challenges. While our Aussie friends are looking out for the region, Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio believes Pacific Island countries must also do their part. Anna Ravulo reports.
Fighting against drugs continue to be a mammoth task, not only for Fiji, but for our neighbours Australia as well.
The elephant in the room of narcotics. That's the elephant in the room in Australia as well. The reality of the situation in Australia is that we are, if not the largest per capita, we are one of the top 3 per capita users of illicit drugs in the world.
Colvin, who has dedicated some of his officers to help local police officers with curbing transnational crime, says it's a joint responsibility.
We face the same challenges. That's a large part of why the Chief of the Defence Force and I are here, is to learn from our Pacific partners about the challenges you face, and what is obvious to me, and I think is obvious to all of us, is that those challenges are shared challenges.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio says Fiji also has the responsibility to protect Australia.
The transit, main transit for narcotics coming into Australia, we have the biggest number of tourists from Australia here. So we have the big responsibility of looking after your citizens too while they're here.
Both forces are sending a message that they have never been as focused and as cooperative in terms of stamping transnational crimes out. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Men and boys in rural communities are being roped into a partnership program that aims to prevent violence against women and girls. Transcend Oceania implemented the one-year program in 3 districts of Vanua Level last year, and this week they are revisiting the communities to evaluate the effectiveness of the program. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
The evaluation allowed members of the communities to share deep-seated issues of violence they have experienced or witnessed.
That's the time when they try to discourage. One of the boys raped my daughter. And this time, I'm not put on court. Right? What they did to me that day, that time, last 2 years, last year, they abused one of my granddaughter.
According to Transnational, the feedback from the community now calls for a much stronger and comprehensive dialogue to weed out the social ill.
It's about time we build this partnership, work together, and hold responsibility.
Several villages in the district of Sasa and Madawata, Naweni, Lakaundrove and Kumbula in Bua piloted this one-year program.
For us in this village, there was no violence or crime reported from Christmas up until now. That's the huge impact we have seen as a result of this program.
A major component of the program is the cross-gender dialogue, where men and women are trained to understand violence, conflict and peace building.
Shows us men and boys in a community that we have responsibility to fight against violence against women and girls.
The program allows the communities to identify and solve the root causes of violence. Transcend Oceania hopes to continue to implement this program Fiji-wide. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Building projects are now becoming more costly for construction companies as they have to hire expatriate engineers to oversee their projects. The Construction Industry Council says lack of engineers locally has resulted in companies hiring them from overseas. The council says this results in companies having to pay almost triple the times more than what a local engineer would be paid. Sanyan Imboila reports.
There is a lack of qualified engineers locally, and the construction companies are having no choice but to get them from overseas. However, this results in companies having to pay more, which included salary, accommodation and other daily allowances.
We need expertise, and if it's not available locally, then we have to go overseas. Most of the buildings here, we don't have specifically qualified engineers to look at marine side of construction, for example.
Construction Industry Council Chief Executive Vijay Naidu says they're working with local universities and the Fiji Higher Education Commission to curb the issue.
We are now trying to better educate our tradespeople in the building and industry to be more qualified, have national qualifications, so that they can be more technically qualified to be in the field, in the construction industry.
Council Project Manager Stephen Hallisey says there is also a lack of building inspectors.
In California, building inspectors are in the field constantly. Even when they're not being called, they're out looking for you. We don't see that here.
USP has introduced a new civil engineering course to help address the issue of unskilled construction workers. The council is also working with FNU and the Fiji Higher Education Commission. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Firefighters were able to contain a fire that broke out at Level 9 Raw Lalambalavu House in Suva this morning. FBC News was at the site where billows of smoke were seen coming from the building's top floor. It's believed the TV unit in the tea room caught fire, but was extinguished by the sprinkler, which activated as soon as the fire started. There was also quick action from the National Fire Authority. No one was injured. The NFA is yet to release further details. The third state witness in the alleged rape of a 14-year-old boy took the stand in court today. The boy, who was 10 years old when he was allegedly raped by his uncle between January and April in 2014. Catherine Krishna reports.
The witness, who is also the victim's uncle, says he was the one who lodged the report with the police. When asked by prosecutor how he knew about the victim's case, the witness says on his way home, he met the victim and was informed of what had happened. He says his nephew was emotional when telling him the story. The witness says when he heard what had happened, he went home, thought about the incident and went back to ask his nephew and then reported the matter to the police. The prosecutor then asked how is it that he remembered the date he was told of the alleged incident. The witness says incidents as such can never be forgotten. Meanwhile, the accused has exercised his right to remain silent and will not take the stand. The 29-year-old is charged with 3 counts of rape. He was previously charged with 3 counts of rape, 1 count each of unnatural offense and assault with intent to commit rape. The case will be recalled tomorrow for closing address. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Still to come, quest to save endangered bird species begin. And more awareness to help Fijians understand Parliament work. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas ondo magrong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya ondo talita ina warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hingatoka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Nevang go fani na tao niyo go singatoka, kita ondo talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Two of our endangered bird species are on the verge of extinction. BirdLife International has confirmed to FBC News that the Fiji petrel, also known as the Kavauningau, and the famous Kulawai bird are on the red list. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The BirdLife International is on a hunt for the Fiji petrel, also known as the Kavauningau, and the Kulawai bird from Kandavu, to save it from extinction.
At this stage in Fiji, we have 2 species which we think are at the highest level of threat, that which we call critically endangered. One of those is the Fiji petrel. Second species is red-throated lorikeet, Kulawai, which we haven't had a really strong evidence of that, seeing that bird for 25 years probably.
Mark O'Brien says they have been gathering information on the whereabouts of the 2 birds.
We've done some surveys to try and find it, and in the last 15 years we haven't been able to find it. So that's really worrying. we have to work out what our next plan and next step is.
BirdLife International is calling for more national focus on the issue.
I think there is more that can be done. There are, I mentioned a number of species which we class as least concern, but they're also only in Fiji, so endemic species to Fiji and Fiji alone.
The organization is calling on the public to give information if these two birds are spotted anywhere in the country. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Parliament Secretariat will this year aim to increase its public awareness on the work of standing committees. Acting Secretary-General to Parliament Viniana Namosimalua says standing committees have raised their concerns with the low turnout during public submissions. Maggie Boyle reports.
Increasing public participation on parliamentary standing committees is on the priority list.
Whenever there were issues on, say, the Convention of the Rights of a Child, they would not see a lot of people come to present or make submissions because to them these things are sort of abstract.
For one committee, travelling out to the divisions has been one way to deal with increasing submission numbers as well as allocating ample time.
Each and everyone, whoever wishes to do the submission before the committee, they can actually come in. That's why we have actually extended the time of submissions. So we'll be actually sitting for next 3 days, I think from 28 as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be actually inviting submissions. And then I believe on 4th, 5th, 6th also.
The ASG says they're hoping to tap into already established networks to raise the profile on committee work.
We're going to use the media a lot in terms of, because we have our Facebook page and Twitter, YouTube, and to sort of maximize that so that people are aware, and also sending out briefings through the machinery, the existing government machinery.
Meanwhile, this week, MPs attended a week-long workshop on the A to Z of committee workings. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fiji is one of the 19 countries in the world selected to benefit from Business Link Pacific. Fiji Commerce and Employees Federation Chief Executive Nesbitt Hazelman says the program will assist local businesses to develop their own model to improve on areas they are lagging behind. The New Zealand-funded program will be conducted online. Hazelman says the need for businesses to accelerate to the next level is important, and this program is designed to help them.
It'll have a sort of an online portal where we can assist our business wherever they may be located. So this is currently being rolled out, so that the services will be made available very shortly.
Persons with disabilities will for the first time be recognised. This as the United Blind Persons of Fiji has organised the first ever National Disability Awards. The organisation today received a boost for the event as HFC Bank provided a $5,000 sponsorship for the award night. The money will be used to reward the Senior Manager of the Year. Awards Chair Rajnil Prasad says they have received 200 applications so far.
If you have members at home or at your office that are disabled, and if you think that they should be recognized, you please feel free to come and see us at the United Blind Persons of Fiji office at Brown Street and pick up the form from us, and you can fill it up for them, or we'll help you fill up the form.
And in world news, U.S. President Donald Trump's annual State of the Union speech has been cancelled. The Trump administration admitting it's scrambling for a backup plan after getting blocked by the House Speaker. It comes after the longest government shutdown in American history. Coming up in sports later with Jamie, Serena Williams knocked out of Australian Open, but Rachel joins you now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break, luxury vehicles in demand. And in growing Fiji, FNU to spend $500,000 on infrastructure upgrade. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Senirawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Mariva. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, more than 300 vehicles are imported by Sridhar Motors Limited annually. Launching its Ford Ranger Raptor in silver last night, the manager of sales and marketing says they invest millions to meet the demands of local customers. Kelly Vidala reports.
This $170,000 vehicle is one of the many high-end imported vehicles by Sridhar Motors, and just like the others, it sells fast.
Annually we invest like tens of millions, that could be 20 million plus, depending on the, as I said earlier, the demand, and also not only the demand, the new innovations that come into the product, the new product, and we are like forced by the forces outside, which is the customers. It's a big force that we need to cater for them.
Chief Executive Arvind Narayan says there's a big demand for the Ranger Raptor in the market.
There has been a big demand for Raptor, and this has caused a delay in receiving our shipment. We should have received our first shipment in October 2018. Bargain Box is our first customer to buy a Raptor, but unfortunately, the Raptor is arriving mid of next month.
The new Ford Ranger Raptor will meet the desires and aspirations of today's compact truck owners. It's the best all-around pickup in the business, and it's wrapped in a leading design on Ford's 35-year truck heritage. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Now we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Asian shares rose after Wall Street managed to end higher. But gains were kept by political uncertainty in the US and worries about weakening global economic growth. On Wall Street, all three major US equity indexes closed in positive territory. The Dow Jones Industrial Average booked the largest gains on upbeat quarterly results from international business machines and other major firms. The S&P 500 gained 0.22%. Meanwhile, Australian employment jumped again in December and the jobless rate surprisingly fell. A generally upbeat report that should comfort the central bank, as the labour market remains one of the strongest parts of the economy. Figures showed a net 21,600 new jobs were created, surpassing market forecast of 16,500. And that's the latest from HFC Bank. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. The Fiji dollar had a strong day against most of the currencies. It was up against the US dollar, the kina, the euro, as well as the yen. Taking a look at the commodities market, oil prices declined further to close at $52.62 a barrel. Gold rose to close at $1,284 per ounce, and silver closed at $15.38 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji National University will invest $500 million in the construction of new buildings and infrastructure over the next 10 years. This major capital project will be executed under the Campus Master Plan, which will cover university sites across the country. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Fiji National University's vision is to make the university world-class and provide students with a modern learning environment.
We plan to spend about $500 million over the next 10 years in a range of new facilities.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Healy says along with the repair program, construction contracts for new buildings have also started.
In Lambasa, there's a whole new campus is being constructed, about a $30 million campus in the first phase. That's well under construction. That's due to be completed by the end of this year. We have an animal hospital that will shortly be starting construction at Coronivia. That's a hospital for veterinary science that will include laboratories and teaching facilities. That's shortly to start construction.
A new 4-story academic and administration building and sports complex is also being constructed at the Nasinu campus. Professor Healy says this is a very exciting time for tertiary education. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. The latest from the Fiji Sevens camp. And Krishna's goal-scoring run comes to an end. Details after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasari Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In less than 48 hours, the Fiji Airways men's sevens team will run out onto FMG Stadium to defend its Hamilton Sevens title. While they've been preparing in New Zealand all week as well as making public appearances, Coach Gareth Baber is keeping a tight lid on things to ensure his players are able to compete at maximum levels consistently over the two-day tournament.
The process is to ensure that they don't bust out themselves just too early. They've got to make sure that you keep a lid on it and you move through the processes that we have to ensure that they're ready to go. And then when they do go on Saturday and Sunday, that all that energy comes out in that.
It has always been a mouth-watering battle between Fiji and New Zealand. Fiji surely won up as they defeated the All Blacks 14-12 in Hamilton last year. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Despite losing some of its more experienced players, South Africa's Sevens captain Philip Snyman remains hopeful of their campaign in Hamilton this weekend. Snyman adds their new players have stepped up to the challenge and are eager to hit the ground running. South Africa is pooled with Scotland, France and Kenya. World Rugby 7 Series leaders USA hopes to maintain its position after the Hamilton tournament this weekend. They currently lead the standings with 38 points ahead of New Zealand with 37 and Fiji with 35. Captain Madison Hughes says they've set a target for the season and they're working hard to achieve it. Lautoka football has been boosted ahead of its OFC Champions League campaign. The Fiji Football Association and major sponsor Vodafone handing last year's losing finalist a check of $50,000. Lautoka President Abdul Qadar says the team's preparations for the OCL is on track and they're gunning to go one better this year.
We've been trying to have our team ready for the OFC League. As you know that we have finished off with the finals which we played in O-League, but like every team wants to win, so we are always there to win the O-League as well. We'll try our best.
Fiji football star Roy Krishna missed a penalty as the Wellington Phoenix ended its unbeaten run in the A-League. The Phoenix going down to Sydney FC 1-0. The win moves Sydney into second place while the Phoenix remain in the fifth spot. The Black Caps admit they need to lift their game if they are to level the one-day series against India. New Zealand were comfortably beaten by 8 wickets in the series opener yesterday. Six-time champion Novak Djokovic has progressed to the Australian Open semi-finals after Japan's 8th seed Kei Nishikori retired injured in the quarterfinal. Djokovic was leading 6-1, 4-1 when Nishikori made the decision to stop. Karolina Pliskova saved 4 match points to send seven-time champion Serena Williams crashing out of the Australian Open. 7th-seeded Pliskova winning 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 over the American. The search for a plane carrying missing footballer Emiliano Sala has been delayed. It comes as reports surface. Sala sent a voice message to friends saying the plane seems like it's about to fall to pieces. In today's play of the day, the priceless moment, an umpire in the doubles competition at the Australian Open accepted the offer to swap with a player. The umpire, playing in uniform for a while, showing the players a few tricks of his own. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. We take a look at the app that's speeding up 3D scanning. Details after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In new media, commercial 3D scanning has been around for a few years, but this app is speeding up the process. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had a super sunny Thursday. The weather was extremely beautiful, but like the usual trend, showers took over. Checking the west out for today, a ray of sunshine was witnessed, but light showers and clouds got that covered. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, it was slightly cooler but sunnier throughout the day. And up north, clouds hovering the skies with the showers also expected. At sea, it's quite rough as southeast winds will gust 20 to 25 knots. For the tides, high tide at 9:11 p.m. with low tide at 3:36 a.m. Sunrise at 5:48. For tomorrow, it's the Good Friday that everyone looks forward to, and apart from few showers, all will be fine. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be the hottest spot with a high of 33 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, a great day for shopping as the weather looks fine. That's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked what more can be done to curb transnational crimes.
Our faith is with the immigration, police and border control to keep our country safe from all these transnational crimes.
People work at the airport and the wharf as to work together to reduce the transnational crime.
We need to strengthen our border security because anything can happen at the wharf and airports.
Yeah, I think there should be a lot of security for that family.
Given the globalization and increasing trade liberalization, transnational crimes are bound to occur. So I think there's a need to tighten the border security.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a busking musician was left in hysterics when an adorable pooch couldn't resist showing off his opera singing. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Fiji transit hub for drug peddlers, new approach to end violence against women and girls, and lack of engineers a concern for construction industry. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment, this week we're asking, should Prime Ministers of Australia and New Zealand visit Fiji more often? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, the rays of sun emerging from behind the clouds sent in by Vicky Singh. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas ondo magrong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya ondo talita na warong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinatoka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere naman.
Nevang go fane na tao no singatoka, kita ondo talita ka ng Bula FM, namban dua na sere.
Bula FM, namban dua na sere.